Okay, so I want to share with you something that I got to discover recently, and that is this fact that a lot of us are struggling with two spirits, the spirit of Saul and the spirit of David. When I say the spirit of Saul, the Bible made us to recognize and understand that Saul was a person who was, he was a king, and he sought his counsel from Samuel. So it's whatever God tells Samuel that um, Samuel will relate to Saul, right? And whatever he does it through Samuel. In other words, he did not really know God. There was no communication. There was no interaction between Saul and God. Even when God made Saul king, it was Samuel who came with the prophecy that um, God says you're going to be king, and you're going to meet some people, or be some priests, and you guys are going to prophesy together and all of those stuff, right? It wasn't God who told Saul that, oh, hey, my son, you're going to be king or something. It was a prophet who came to meet him, and, he just started moving along that path. Then David, on the other hand, David was a man or a person who actually knew God for himself, right? David was a person who understood the principles of God. In if we look at the Psalms, we'll see how David wrote about God, how David, talked about his communion with God. So he said there was a part he said, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want." That, in other words, like when I have God, I will not lack, I will not be in need, I will not, there was that confidence that David had so much in God that even while he sinned, even while he did so much, he committed so much atrocities, you know, he still understood the place of the mercy of God. He understood that, I'm God's child, and you know, God will still, when I seek Him, when I met them, when I'm broken in hearts, all of those things, right? Why am I saying this? I I realized, using myself for instance, I realized that there was a time in my life that I was literally seeking people. I was seeking God through people. I was trying to, when that moment, like you want to hear what God will say, and you're literally, you're calling people, calling friends that, oh, maybe they're in the ministry, people you believe that, oh, they are more, above you in spirituality and all of those stuff, right? And they tend to tell you things. But the truth is that one of the things I've come to realize is that these people can be wrong. Yeah, these people can be wrong, because when I mean these people can be wrong, when you begin to hear God for yourself and they tell you some certain things, it may not align with what you might have heard from God, right? And when that comes, there, there, there there's this battle of, oh my God, what is going on? Are you sure me? I'm hearing God, or sometimes tend to fall into that deception of, oh, they've been in the ministry and probably yes they hear God more than I do. There's so much stories looking at the prophets that God sent on an errand, and the senior prophet told him that, oh, you should come rest in his house, and eat and all of those things. It was still the same prophet who told him to ignore the voice of God, that still, God still told to tell him that, oh, for disobeying me, you're going to meet your death along the way and all of those things, right? So what I'm saying in essence is that many of us miss it with our work with God when we listen to men. Men will always be men. Before a man became a prophet, he was a man. Yeah, before anyone became a prophet, before anyone became a priest, they were first of all men. They were first of all man. And a lot of us still are still in that angle where we are making that mistake, that rather than, you know, developing the spirit of David, hearing what God has to say, we are seeking men. We are thinking, oh, what is God saying through this prophet? What is God saying through that prophet? What is God saying through that father? Rather than going to God directly. There's so much that God wants to tell you. There's so much that God wants to do with your life. He cannot reveal everything to a prophet. It is not possible. It is not possible. And this is the reason why a lot of people are missing it. People are missing it. When I came to this realization, I just said, oh my God, what have I been doing with my life? you know, I'm not saying, right, I'm not saying that um, we should discard the place of people or discard the place of spiritual people in our lives. But one of the things I've come to learn is that most of the things that people should tell you, they should be a confirmation of what God has said to you. It should be a confirmation of what God has told you. There are things God has said to me, and when I try to probably relate it to someone, in a way, and they are saying something contrary to that, I'm like, now you God said this thing, oh, not be this other person. So there's no way they will be able to comprehend it. And that is one of the things that actually cost Moses, is it Moses? No, Saul. It actually caused Saul to actually lose his inheritance, to lose his kinship, to lose the interest of his kingship, right? To lose the grace of God upon his life because he was not seeking God. He didn't know God for himself. He didn't know God for himself. This is something I want you to take out of this video, right? That you should know God for yourself. As much as you call your pastor by 1 a.m., know God for yourself. It's very important. Know God. What is God saying concerning your life? What is God saying concerning your family? You know, if you don't know God for yourself, you can take any prophecy. Some went as far as seeking a witch to know what Samuel has to say, to know what prophecy Samuel had to prophesy concerning his life. It was as bad as that. And people, there are still people with that spirit of Saul. There are still people who are so minded. They have that spirit with them, like, oh, what is God saying concerning me? Using what a man of God is saying, using what and Jesus is saying that that grace has passed on. What am I saying? I'm going to cut this place off. Well, in essence, I believe you get what I'm saying, right? In essence, I believe you get what I'm saying, right? That as a child of God, do not possess that spirit, do not possess that soul spirit, because it's literally going to weigh you down. It's literally going to, take that grace of God from you because you will literally rather than paying attention to what God is saying per time, per season in your life, you will be so eager to hear what God is saying that you seek men. You will be so eager to hear what God is saying that you will seek even the wrong things. You will seek, you will seek even the wrong people, wrong men. You will seek the wrong counsel, right? So here's what I have to share with you today, that you should possess that spirit of David, possess that spirit of communion with God, knowing God for yourself, seeking God wholeheartedly, all out for God, knowing what God has to say concerning your life rather than what people are saying that God said concerning your life, right? Let whatever people say be a confirmation of what God has told you. Do not possess that spirit also. Possess that spirit of David. I hope this has blessed you.